What's up, guys? It's your boy Souls here. Welcome back to Geometry to the Dizzle Dash. You already know. Now, it has been a hot minute since we have been seeing this level. I think it's already been clear that this level has already taken longer than the 7 Seas remake, and I'm tired of this level not being. I gotta be a little bit quiet because people are asleep right now. Look at that. It's 1:39 in the morning. And I'm freaking recording this, building a level. As you can see, I've made a couple of adjustments to the level, as you may have noticed. This part's not done. I still need to polish it up a little bit, such as like this area right here is kind of empty. The portals aren't decorated, and there's a lot of open space here. Today, we are going to be working on the slowdown that I turned into a robot. Now, with this robot, I noticed that some comments say that, hey, it's a Viking Arena, but there's no snow. And I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? You're kind of right. So what I've been doing recently is making like concept stuff. And this is the concept I want to work off of for the block design. As you can tell, it does use the finger dash block, as well as the rocks, the grass, and all this other stuff. And this is what the part is basically gonna look like. It gives me some type of direction I can work with in order to make the building process a little bit more smooth. So I'm gonna, oh wow, I almost destroyed my mic. So I'm gonna be trying to apply something like this, but a little bit more detailed into the actual level, and of course with better layering, because the layering on this is not that great, but you know, that can be fixed in post. We probably should do something about this too, so the transition's a little bit smoother. Okay, actually, you know what? Changing color 2 right now is not the best idea. All I really need to do is change the color 38 and 39. I've been playing God of War Ragnarok, right? I beat the game not too long ago, well, at least the main story, and I gotta say, it is a beautiful game. And I don't know if you guys have been following me on Twitter, which you definitely should be. It has been an immaculate series for me to play through. I absolutely adore God of War Ragnarok. Definitely one of my top games I've played, period. I absolutely adore that game. I love it so much. Like, you cannot tell me that it's a bad game. I can see why people were mad that it didn't win Game of the Year award, but man, what an experience that game was. I'm not gonna spoil anything, by the way. I'm just gonna talk about it casually, because that's the inspiration for what this part's gonna be. Probably should have put the blocks in a different layer, especially with this no longer being the concept but the actual level now, so I actually gotta pay attention to what the heck I'm doing. Oh, not the corner. There you go. Then we're gonna select everything, go into the pause menu, and click on create edges. That way we got our edges here. Yeah, I'm also gonna have to change this up a little bit, because I kind of need to change the way the object interacts with the player, such as the sides right here. I kind of need you to like die when you hit the sides, but I also don't want you to see the sides. So okay, that's actually perfect. We need to go ahead and start making the grass. Okay, that's actually perfect now that I'm looking at it. Now we just need this to be, I kind of want this to pulse, so I'm going to make it like a color 43 white. That way we have something like this, which is actually pretty decent. We can also adjust the white color here and make it slightly darker. That way when we put like white grass on top of it, it stands out a little bit more. Okay, this is decent for a base so far. Not too bad, not too bad. It's pretty basic, but once we start adding more decoration to it, it's going to look a lot better. Let's go ahead and start with some of the small details that are really easy to add, such as the drop shadow for the grass. So before I do that, I want to go ahead and start making layering for stuff. You can always adjust the grass, but I do want this to also be on B1 and at 5. So we have layers 2, 3, and 4 to work below the grass. And I want the drop shadow to be on 4. I only need to delete 1 and shift this over. And we need this on B1, 4, because the grass is on 5, and we also need to change the color of this as well. You know, we can go ahead and start making some of the details on the grass block right here as well to really bring the immersion, and something that I didn't do in the concept. So I think that's a good way to start making more on the block design, is adding stuff that hasn't been added to the concept to see if it works. That way when you refer back to it, you can like either delete it or do something else with it. Do I want this to be the same color as the grass? I kind of do, so when I do the pulsing, it doesn't look like bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to max out the brightness so it's completely white. and also have it below the low opacity blending glow for a little bit of a small effect. So we're gonna spread out some grass on the bottom right here, which actually is starting to look pretty darn nice. And it doesn't have to strictly be white here. I can make it different shades of gray. We can also make it like some shades of blue, like right here. We can make it like a low saturation blue with some like something like this, right? Like, ooh, that looks like, make it look colorful, make it look nice. We'll stop there for the grass under this. Let's see what other decoration I can put under this. Mostly in Midgard, it's mostly rocks and snow. It's kind of hard to decorate snow on top of this. Now I need to start adding some decoration to the actual block design itself, which all I'm really gonna do is start adding some of these, the edges, and just use these as like cracks and stuff. See, this could work if it didn't have the freaking dot right there, dude. Are you serious? Why is there a dot there, man? It looks really basic right now, but that's because there's literally no other decoration around it. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So another part of the concept that I made was I was using the rocks and snow in order to like cover the block design in front of it. So I need to find a creative way of doing that without making it look extremely messy. There's a couple of ways I can make the snow. One way is actually using the half circles here and make a snow pile by doing this. And I'll make it color 66 and scale. Yeah, I gotta get a little bit creative. Why is the snow breaking apart? Okay, now that I've gotten that accomplished, now that I got a little bit of snow down, now I need a couple of the rock blocks. The state has to be above 10, so I'm gonna put this rock on 11. That way the rock is actually on top of the snow, and we're not gonna adjust the brightness of it. Instead, we're just gonna leave the brightness as is so it matches the block design. But the more forward the block design gets, well, the decoration gets, the brighter it's gonna get. These will serve as the background rocks. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna layer up, put a rock on top, but instead it's going to be a little bit brighter. So I'm gonna put it at 1.20 should be decent. Do you see a difference? I sure do, actually. That's actually not bad. Instead of just putting it on 12, I'm actually gonna put it on 13, and you'll see why. Layering is actually extremely powerful if you know how to use it correctly. So that's why I'm putting all of this on B1 and just messing with the numbers rather than just randomly putting them on B1, B2 and stuff. Because watch this. With these rocks being on 13, what I can do is I can actually copy the value of this, go to the grass block, right? Paste the state, paste the color, but we're going to change the color. Instead of it being all this, we're going to change it to color 63, and we're going to put this on 12. And what I can do with the snow right here is I can actually get the other rock block if I can find it, and we're going to snipe it right behind the snow, just adding that little bit more of layering to it. Of course, right now it's really messy, but once I start adding like more details, such as, if I can find it, such as glow, right? So for example, I'm going to paste the state right here, but I'm also going to keep it in layer 9, and we're going to put the glow on 8, and it's going to be a low opacity white glow, or should I do low opacity black glow? Let's actually try both. It does separate them quite nicely, I'm not gonna lie. I think I might go with low opacity white. Yeah, low opacity white. Let me know in the comment section which ones you like more, but I think low opacity white's the move for right now. After that, it was all pretty much the same. I put down some more rocks, put down some more snow, and really just adding some fine details to the level. I even changed the background color and the ground color, referring back to my old block design and going back to the regular level. And once I was done with that, it was time to move on to the icicles. The icicles I actually made custom. So what I did was I kind of did this. I kind of want to make multiple sizes of these as well. So this will be like my medium / normal size spike. And once this is done, what I did is I'm actually going to layer this now. All right, copy paste here. And I have to go down a layer, and I need to basically fill in the icicle spike like this. There's other ways of doing it, such as using the pixel blocks or something like that to fill in space. Right now I'm really focusing on filling in this top corner piece right here, and once that's filled in, now I can start adding some like the 3D line stuff right here, such as this. So I need to copy the values of this, paste its state as well as its color, and now I can start filling in space properly. Okay, I think that's a decent color for it, like right there. Now we need to make some low opacity gradient for it. Let's just try default white for right now. I want to see what a default white gradient glow looks on top of this. Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. I think this is fine for an icicle for now. I think this is fine. I think that's perfectly fine for an icicle. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use it as my base template, and now I can just slide this in like this, and now I got icicles in my level. Look at that. Cool. After successfully not messing up the icicle, it was time to build the smaller version. Now with the smaller version, I didn't just want to scale this one I already made down. So what I did is I actually took the template and adjusted it a little bit. I gave it a little bit of an indigo color rather than the same color that it had before for a little bit of color variety. And it actually came out pretty good. And once I placed down a couple of those, it was finally time to move on to one of my favorite parts of the build in this video. Since it's a Viking Arena, and I want this rocky part to be the arena that you're entering, I need something to reflect that. So I think adding the braziers here with torches and stuff might be a good idea. First I need to build the base of the brazier, which is going to be pretty simple. It's just going to be a 2x2 square, and I need to adjust the size of it by squishing that down. Instead of putting it below, we're actually going to put it on top. So we need to slightly poke this out and slightly poke this one out. And then the main brazier is going to be below all of that. So all this needs to be on -10, and you guys are -9, so you're going to be on top of everything like that. Perfect. Now, with God of War, I also noticed all the characters, weapons, and stuff had some really cool detailed curviness to the details. I'm not going to simulate that because that will take way too long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to half bake it and do this. See, look at that. That's fine. It doesn't need to be extremely detailed. It looks cool like this. Oh, that looks so cool like that. That looks really cool on the design. It's so simple yet so effective. No, I never do art like this anymore. But I always love adding like art like this to my levels because it just makes it feel a lot more. I don't know if alive's the right word, but it just feels good adding like custom stuff like this to your level. I kind of like what the design I did right here. I wonder if I can like copy paste this onto the top of the brazier here. I like this. This is cool. I'm loving this actually. Alright, I think that's all the detail I'm going to add to it. I don't want to go too crazy with this since I'm going to copy paste it. So now I think it's time to work on the actual fire, which is also going to be really cool. So the fire is just going to be this right here. Yeah, I'm using a lot of color here, but you know, I think it's worth it in the end because in the end, it doesn't really matter. Ooh. The only way a non-animated object can be on top of a non-blending object is if it's on a higher Z layer. But other than that, it's going to be below it guaranteed. Speaking of which, this looks really cool. What if I make this color 2 and color 3? Probably not going to work. Alright, I feel like in order to make this feel a little bit more in-depth, I need some like blending white in the middle of that. Simply because when fire gets hot, it becomes a lot more like bright in the center. So I feel like putting like a blending white in the middle of that will like help it with the depth. Like something like that, yeah. And we can make this, instead of red, we can make it yellow like that. Ooh, okay, cool. It's not the 2.2 fire, but you know, it's still pretty cool. And now we actually have a wintry, fiery arena. It's cool, but I feel like it's not detailed enough, oddly enough. So let's go back to this layer. I feel like what it really needs is some detailing on the main base right here. So we can do something about that. Okay, we can copy the values of this and we can start detailing this accordingly. Oh, okay, I'm accidentally made this design, but I'm actually getting God of War Ragnarok vibes from it. That might be my creator bias, but dang, that detailing looks cool. Look how cool this looks, dude. Look how cool that looks, man. Come on. I love every single bit of this. Is this its own color too? Can I like adjust? Oh, I can adjust the color on its own. Souls, I love you so much, dude. I really wish I had the particle editor so I can have like the particles floating up here. All right, so now that this is done, I kind of want to sleep tonight, so I'm gonna end this part of the recording here and we're gonna continue on tomorrow morning. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I took a nice little sleep, you know, now it's morning time, you know, when normal people start recording, and I kind of got the loop for the snow somewhat done. It still needs to be fixed here and there, but overall the loop is like this. Unfortunately, I can't really see it in the editor, but I can see it when I play in-game. It still needs a little bit of polishing overall, but wow, that's loud in my ear. So overall, this is what it looks like right now. Nothing too crazy. I still need to fix the loop up just a little bit and make the movement of the snow a little bit more varied. But overall, the snowfall, this is what it looks like for right now. And yeah, I guess now is a good time to continue on with the block design. Well, before the block design, I need to think of a background. And of course, with these braziers, we're going to be having these spread out and at different sizes as well. But we're going to deal with that at a later time. Right now, I do want to focus on the custom background, that being the trees. I took a little bit more inspiration from God of War Ragnarok, so I kind of want to make trees similar to it. So it like trees with branches and snow on top. So let's see. Okay, what if I do this? All right, paste state, paste color, have it on top. If I can low opacity black, what does that do? Ugh, no, that does not look good on it. Ooh, that actually worked out pretty well, actually. This is actually nice. Look at that. Ooh, that's really nice. I could do the generic tree effect by doing like this. Well, I guess in retrospect, it'll be something like this, right? And then I'll have this like as a dark green, like that, and that will be my tree, which isn't bad, but it is pretty plain. Okay, how about this? How about we just have the base of the tree like this? Let's try adding some like branching off branches here. For sure branches don't curve out like that, but you know, it's a Geometry Dash level. I'm not really going for realism. I'm just going for cool. I'm going for cool. I don't want to completely take out the tree. Whoa. Whoa, okay, that looks kind of cool. Okay, well, if I'm gonna do that, I need to darken the branches. All right, what about 60? Will 60 work with this? Okay, yeah, 60 is perfect. Yep, we're going with this. Here we go. All right, got some quarter circles. And we just gotta put these behind the branch. So I need to copy the values of it, paste the state, but put it one below, and then of course make it white. Looks more like a cloud than a branch. We can do a little bit of layering here by like putting like darker snow in the background for a layering effect. Like that, yeah. Alright, I think that works. That works. This works. I like this. Of course, I need to put don't fade, don't enter on it, but overall, this is a nice snow tree. After looking at a couple of pictures of God of War, I need some like mountainish type of rocks for the background in order to really make this feel full. So before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in all the block design and a couple of decorations here and there. Then we'll work on the background and we probably will call it an episode. So I will be right back. Alright, so here's a tip for new creators out there who are struggling to make an entire part. So here is my building process. I start with the block design, then I go into the details, then I do the background. I do it in a somewhat of a cycle so I don't get bored, and of course I'm also listening to music while I'm doing this. So the steps I follow so I don't get bored are block design, details, background. And with that, I decided to call the video there. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Obviously, this part is not done along with the previous ship part. So the next time we get together, the ship part should be done and I'll get a little bit more progress done on this part. And we'll finally be moving on to the drop of the level, or at least the second drop. If you're ready for the next episode, how about 150 likes? I seen y'all do it before, but can y'all do it again? 150 likes, episode 6, I believe. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you learned something. It's been your boy Souls, and I will see you guys next time. Later.